You'd think when an airline spends billions of dollars on brand new airplanes, the first thing they'd want to do is put them into service. But Delta Airlines is doing something completely different, something that might sound strange at first glance. Instead of flying their shiny new Airbus aircraft across the Atlantic to the US, Delta is leaving them in Europe, pulling the engines off, and shipping just the engines back home. Sounds bizarre, right? But once you look deeper, it actually turns out to be a brilliant strategy. In July, Delta reported its quarterly earnings, and during the usual earnings call with investors and analysts, Delta's CEO Ed Bastian confirmed reports that the airline was literally taking engines off brand new Airbus A321neos, aircraft that haven't even flown a single paying passenger yet, and sending those engines across the ocean to keep its existing fleet flying. The engines in question are Pratt Whitney's geared turbofan, or GTF engines. Now, why would Delta do this? To understand, we need to zoom out. For years, airlines around the world have been dealing with the headaches of the GTF engine program. Pratt Whitney's geared turbofan promised revolutionary efficiency, lower fuel burn, and quieter operations. But reality hasn't been so smooth. These engines have faced durability issues, forcing airlines to remove them from wings far earlier than expected for inspections and repairs. Add in the global supply chain crisis, where replacement parts are stuck in backlog for months, and suddenly airlines everywhere have dozens of grounded planes just waiting for engines. Delta, like many other carriers, has been hit hard. Grounded jets equal lost revenue, and no airline wants that. So what did Delta do? Instead of sitting back and waiting for new spare engines, they decided to get creative. Their brand new Airbus aircraft sitting in Europe weren't going to enter service right away anyway, mainly because they're still waiting on cabin certifications, including approval for the new seats. So Delta made the call. Strip the engines off the new jets, send those engines to the US, and use them to get grounded planes back in the air where they can actually earn money. But that's only part of the story. There's another clever twist here. Tariffs. Aircraft manufactured in Europe are subject to a 10% tariff when imported into the United States, a leftover from the Trump administration's trade disputes. For an airline like Delta, which has ordered hundreds of Airbus jets, that 10% adds up to an astronomical cost. However, the Pratt Whitney engines are not made in Europe. They're manufactured in the United States. And since they're being returned to their country of origin, no tariff applies. So Delta is effectively delaying having to pay millions in import duties, while still putting the engines to good use. It's a win-win situation. Problem 1. Grounded planes due to engine shortages. Solution? Use the engines from new but idle aircraft. Problem 1. Grounded planes due to engine shortages. Solution? Use the engines from new but idle aircraft. Problem 2. Expensive tariffs on European-built planes. Solution: delay importing the airframes while still bringing the engines home tariff-free. Problem 3. New aircraft not yet ready for passengers. Solution: put their engines to work right away on certified revenue-generating planes. When you put it all together, it's less strange and more genius. Delta is solving multiple issues with a single move, turning what looks like a bizarre practice into a masterclass in business problem-solving. And it's not just about today. By keeping older jets flying and passengers moving, Delta preserves its network reliability, protects its market share, and avoids the kind of large-scale schedule disruptions that some of its competitors have faced. Inc. magazine even called Ed Bastian's decision a case study in leadership, praising Delta for doing what every business leader hopes for in tough times: finding a solution, even if it's unconventional. So the next time you see a Delta A321neo parked in Europe without engines, remember, it's not a mistake, it's strategy. But what do you think? Is Delta being smart and resourceful here? Or is it a risky move to delay putting new aircraft into service? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. What do you think about Delta's move? It's a move that protects operations today while buying time on costs and certifications. Tariff problem, engine crisis, smart strategy. By moving engines where they're needed now, Delta keeps planes earning and schedules intact. It's operational thinking with financial muscle behind it. So when you see that parked A321neo, remember, strategy, not mistake. Tell us below, are they being smart or taking a risk? What do you think about Delta's move?